All right, Scorp. This week from Late Vampire, you pulled the past to prison. Bitterness, grudge, and refusal to let go, which all three words ring pretty true for Scorp. But then you pulled vanity from chakra wisdom. And we're going to get into this a little bit. I think that for the majority of you, you need to be careful about what kind of people you're listening to right now. It's not necessarily that they're bad people, but if you're spending too much time listening to negative stuff, it's going to affect you. Now, the past to prison. The blessing says you now have a chance to free yourself from the sadness and misery of another, and to set a wonderful example of how to live freely without bitterness and regret. Now, working with this card talks about finding those who have suffered and who have moved on, for they have something to teach. Now, the curse is what I looked at here with vanity showing up. It says your kindness and desire to help may be creating a situation where you are hearing a great deal of negativity. This is having an impact on your energy. Please take steps to remove this influence and to listen less. Now, the reason why I say that it has to do with people around you is because of vanity. Now, the inspiration says, we all say we will stop when we have enough, but there's never enough. You may be looking outside yourself for validation. The personal question, though, and the key ideas are what really drives us home here. So the personal question says, am I feeling disconnected from any people in my life? Am I growing away from limiting relationships? And then the key ideas are environmental tension, living in illusion, self-doubt, power to change, lesser companions, and empty conversations, which is where, for me, immediately it kicked in here. I think for some of you, you may be being a little bit too kind to people who are full of negativity. And again, it's not that they're bad people. It's just that their energy may be affecting you in a way where it's going to be hard for you to let it go. All right, Scorp, here we go. Here's the energy coming through. Jesus. Yeah, getting straight to the point, aren't we? Now, the Lovers. For some of you, this is just needing to make some major decisions in your life. For others, it's going to have to do with a relationship. Oh boy, okay. In the past, the Queen of Cups. Now, I've always said with the Queen of Cups that I like seeing that for Scorp, because that to me reminds me of Scorpio. But again, it goes back to being a little bit too giving. You know, the Queen of Cups can get too emotionally attached to situations, and she does get taken advantage of through being so kind to others. You know, and for some of you, it may have to do with another person. It could be another water sign here, but I feel like your energy as the past coming through is saying emotional attachment to a relationship. Now, this may not be a bad thing, but we'll just have to see what's going on here. In the present, the Three of Cups. Now, again, it's not bad. It's just, you know, I'm looking at the Oracle cards going, what's up, right? The Three of Cups kind of catches me off guard here. But normally, you know, this is your support system. You know, for some of you, if you're dealing with some emotional issues, these are the people that are going to be there, that are going to help you and support you. They're the ones that you're going to want to talk to. Especially if there are relationship issues going on or something about a relationship that, you know, you need to talk about. Now, on the other hand, this is celebration. This is the celebration of a relationship. And that point, it looks really good. Future conditions, so things start moving quick. Jeez. So now, you know, for some of you, if it's having to do with making major decisions, you know, you have people around you that may be helping you out here. But again, you want to be careful about being, you know, too open to the negativity that may be being spread. But again, that may just be for some of you. Now, with the Eight of Wands as future conditions, it's fast, it's picking up, it's like right now. You know, when you're looking at celebration in a relationship, right? This could be the celebration of a birth. It could be the celebration of a marriage, you know, or you could just be celebrating a major decision that you made and you're moving quickly on it. The energy looks good, but it starts to move really fast here. And then this also has to do with communication. But I really do feel like that's you in the past coming through into this situation. You know, your best path to follow. Listen, if you're dealing with, a situation here where there's conflict, whether it's, inner conflict about the decisions that you're making, or, conflict surrounding a relationship, basically, and I'm glad it's this and not the Five of Swords, you're going to have to step up here because nobody's hearing each other. If things move a little bit too fast, communication can get blocked or thrown out of whack. You want to make sure that things are clear. This is petty. It's petty nonsense. It's not good, but, at the same time, it could be worse, right? I'm not really feeling something really bad around it. I just think that maybe some of you feel like you're not being heard. Which could explain why the Eight of Wands is there and needing to do some communicating within a relationship, or, when it comes to making major decisions. But, oh boy, jeez. In your environment, the Queen of Swords. Now, for some of you, you may be dealing with somebody that can be extremely hard to communicate with. Looking at the Five of Wands and then seeing the Eight of Wands there. Now, for some of you, the way that it's lining up, and, again, with a general reading, this could be male or female. You could be dealing with an air sign. You can be dealing with another water sign. But in terms of the energy surrounding you, if you get too emotionally attached to a difficult situation, you want to be careful about the way that you're communicating. You don't want to be too cutthroat here, I kind of feel like for some of you, it pushes you to that point there with the Queen of Swords. Like, you know what? I'm tired of listening to this bullshit. I'm done with this, Especially if you have people that are like interjecting their thoughts on your love life. That's the other thing, And that's because of the Five of Wands being there. Like, what is it that's being said here that gets you to a point where you're like, all right, I've had enough of this, right? Now, if you are dealing with a person here, on the other hand, looking at the Three of Cups with the Queen of Swords, this could be somebody that's coming through to kind of help you cut through that kind of bullshit. Like, no, don't listen to that, right? But I kind of feel like what happens here is that, communication gets a little harsh because it's difficult to begin with. Your hopes and your fears, the Page of Wands, so hoping to hear some exciting communication, basically. The Page of Wands is, the messenger. The message is exciting. It's new. There's passion there. There's a new path to take. There's creativity. If you're starting a new project, it looks really good. And for some of you, you're hoping to hear something. Especially with the Eight of Wands being there. There needs to be some kind of communication here. I feel like you're celebrating something good here that you've accomplished with the Three of Cups. But, there may be some conflict surrounding it that you're going to have to cut through here. But I do think that some of you are waiting on some communication. And then the outcome, the Two of Wands. Now I'm going to clarify that. But the Two of Wands basically is saying you're looking at what your next move is, especially if energy starts picking up really quickly, either within a relationship or the major decisions that you're making in your life. You hold your own world in your hands. What are you going to do? What decisions are you going to make here? How are you going to start acting? Something the time is right. The timing's just right. Right? But you have to make your peace with the past here so you can feel that rebirth and have that second chance. But the Wheel is saying it's good. It's good timing for this. It's good timing for you to start acting toward the things that you're wanting here. Whether it has to do with a relationship and wanting to communicate or you're looking at new creative projects here, and it's going to be like a major decision for you, like a major life decision. Do I do this? Do I not do this? But, I'm looking at the Lovers, though, and I think for some of you, this is going to have to do with a relationship. Some of you may be hoping to hear some communication, and it looks good, but you're going to be in a spot here where you're going to have to make some decisions. What action do I need to take here? Because the timing is right, but with Judgment, again, it is rebirth, it's second chances, and between the two of them, this may be another cycle that's happening for some of you with somebody, and maybe the communication is really good. You know what I mean? But with the Five of Wands, though, it still teeters for me. You may be dealing with a lot of conflict. There may be too many people talking at once, and it may be creating conflict within you. But the Queen of Swords is basically cutting through that crap. So, you'll be able to cut clearly through it. It's just saying that, as your best path to follow, you're going to either have to step up or step down here with the Five of Wands. Step up as far as like, all right, that's enough of that, or back away from it and not let, so many people yak in your ear about you should do this, you should do this, you should do this, right? So you can make your own decisions. But either way, it doesn't look bad at all. That's minor. It's minor, But I do feel like that whatever exciting news is coming to you is going to open the door here for you to do something big, much bigger with your life and within your relationships as well. So transformation, that goes without saying, right? But transition, something in your life is going to be going through a transition here, whether it's a relationship or, you're moving on something important to you here. But it's going to cause a transformation in you, and you're going to be emerging out of the situation and going through that rebirth. That looks good. It does. So, it's nothing negative major at all. I would have expected to see worse, honestly, with the oracle cards, but I'm glad that it didn't. I would just be careful about what negative energy you are taking on by others. But otherwise, you look good. The timing is right for something here, and this may be a major second chance for some of you. Whether it's a new life decision here or a relationship, either way, it looks good. There it is. Playfulness, nice. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. So that is what's going to attract the right partner to you, And with all the excitement and fast energy that's going on, it looks good. It really does. For those of you who are single and meeting somebody new, it's going to be a lighthearted feeling, which is good. You have chemistry and new love. Nice. Chemistry, there's a strong magnetic attraction here. New love, a new person has stirred your romantic feelings. So now when you're in a relationship and you see this card, new love is basically saying that you're seeing this person through new eyes. It's almost like they're a new person to you. And there's like this spark of chemistry that's happening, which is good. So, it's like a renewal within a relationship. And all the energy surrounding that looks really, really good. Nothing looks bad here. Whatever conflict you're facing here, you're going to have to step up and deal with it, or you're going to have to back away from it. Either way, with the Queen of Swords, you're going to be able to cut through that crap. All right, Scorp. So now the Lovers. This is either a relationship or some major decisions you're making in your life right now. Now, I kind of get the feeling that for some of you, yeah, you could be dealing with two different people. Yeah, you could just be dealing with one, but I do like the energy as far as you go, period. I think in the past where you may have been like a little bit more receptive to what other people were saying, I think you get pushed to a point here where you're like, no, I'm done. I'm done listening to that crap. I intuitively know what is right for me. And you're not listening to the outside voices anymore. And again, that's the warning here with the Past of Prison and Vanity. You have to be careful about what negative energy you're taking on from what other people are saying to you. Now, as far as energy moving fast and then communication here, I do think that for some of you, you're hoping to hear something exciting. And again, relationship or major decisions, but you start to act on it. You're starting to think about, which way am I going here? What am I doing? What is my next move? But the timing is right. I mean, this is second chances all the way around. And it may be with a relationship, this may be with major decisions you're making. Either way, it looks really, really good. Make your peace with the past. If you're hearing that calling, damn it, do it, and commit to it. It looks really good, and I think you're going to make the right decisions. I just think that you're kind of done. You're done listening to the outside chatter, which is why I feel like this is you in your environment. Like, no, I'm cutting through that shit now. I'm tired of listening to all the different opinions here because I don't think any of them are making any sense. But, things will start to pick up here where you may hear this communication. You're going to have to make some decisions on where you're going to go, what you're going to do. And then, I can't help it, but looking at the wand energy and then seeing this, travel, maybe, possibly. But either way, the timing is right and it looks really good. Now, something definitely is transitioning in your life. Transformation and emerging. Like, yeah, we know transformation, of course, right? But you're going to be emerging out of this situation into something that's going to be, it looks like brand new here. And it looks really good. Now, for those of you who are in a relationship, looking at chemistry and new love, if you're happy in a relationship, this is like a new start to a relationship big time. There's more attraction. You're going to see this person through a new set of eyes here. It's going to feel like a new love situation, and it looks really good. Now, for those of you who are single, playfulness, yes. Play, be happy. Don't be dragged down by what other people are saying in their own negative energy. It's okay to be supportive of people and to listen, but you cannot harbor their energy. You don't want to do that to yourself. But Scorp, I mean, really, things look good. Things look really good here. The timing is right. Just make your peace with the past. Don't get infected by negative energy and make those decisions, whether they're major life events or if it's in love. It looks good either way.